I really wish I could make a typical Arrow did it again video like most other YouTubers right now are doing. I want to do that, but I can't. And this video is going to be why I can't do that. And it's not Arrow's fault. This amazing 4K package from Arrow is awesome and great. And then YouTubers got a hold of it and made me question so much. So let's talk about it. But first, let's go get Taco Bell. Can I just get one cheesy gordita crunch with no spicy ranch, please?
Alright, so they're gonna be $5.40.
Alright. Let's go back and watch Demolition Man. Ah. Got the tacos. Got the Pepsi. Guys, we're going full 1993 right now.
2 hours later.
Alright, now that we're fully nourished, we got our Taco Bell, we got our Pepsi. Let's have a real discussion about Demolition Man on 4K. Now, this has been my most anticipated 4K for the past couple months since they announced it. This was like day one, and I never get Arrow day one. Guys, I'm a sales guy. Lately, they've been kind of pinching the FOMO a bit, but this video is not going to knock on this movie. I love this movie. Guys, I don't have the VHS. I should. I don't with me, but I think it's at my mom's house. But, you know, I got the Snapcase DVD, got the Blu-ray. Like, I am good. I am stoked about this. And this is the best, like, way to have this movie. But I have a real problem with YouTube and the over-promotion and the over-salesmanship of this movie, of this transfer, really. And it's not that it's a bad transfer. This is a great transfer, guys. Definitely get this. Before we get into that, like, I still have an issue with this artwork. I think this artwork is crap. It's not as bad in person as the pictures, but it's bad. I like this. Put this on the front and we're good. But I'm not going to get into a whole unboxing. There's a million other YouTubers. Like, as much as I'm going to question a lot of YouTubers, and I mean no disrespect, I have to put that as a disclaimer, no disrespect. Go watch their videos. Watch them unbox it. Watch them talk about how this is the 4K of the year. Please go do that. But I want to have a discussion about a problem that I have with, and I've mentioned this before, putting something down to build something up. And the one thing I've seen 4 YouTube reviews, all of which have way more subscribers to my channel, you know, way more established in this YouTube space. So I don't want to pick on little channels. And I don't want to pick on big channels. I don't want to pick on these channels. But I have to question it. Because this is a movie I watch yearly. I watch this every year. I love this movie. It's one of the greatest 90 movies ever made. So when I'm watching this 4K in Dolby Vision, am I impressed? Am I blown away? Are my socks like, are my legs behind my head? No. It looks fine. It looks great. It looks just like the Blu-ray. And my problem is how much people are just dogging the shit out of this. This is not, I'm going to do it side by side. This is a side by side video, guys. Like, I want you to decide. Like, because every time I do this, it's either, oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't agree with you. I like this version. Like, please make your own decision. But I want you to see, because there are YouTubers out there, and I get it. I've said this 100 times. I said it with my Twister video. YouTubers are salesmen, and that is okay. I'm not saying it's bad for them. Please, dude, I want free copies of stuff. I do. You know how much I've loved to get this for free? But I would never just bash this and say this is like the... Let's just get into what's being said about this Blu-ray in these comparisons, and let's actually judge it for ourselves.
How does this look on 4K, and how does it compare to the Blu-ray? So guys, this is a long-awaited upgrade here. Like, this Blu-ray, it looks okay. It looks okay, but my God, did it need that upgrade. And did Arrow Video just totally and completely deliver here? Absolutely gorgeous, stunning, fantastic, guys. One of the best 4Ks of the year. But this movie just looked so damn good, jaw-droppingly gorgeous in 4K. The colors were incredible. Like, you are seeing things that you've never saw before, and that's always super cool.
Okay, so that's Ken, Mid-Level Media. Huge fan of the channel. Don't want to discredit anything. But I just wanted y'all to hear one of the biggest YouTubers in the space to say. Now, granted, Ken did get this for free. He says it on his video. He gets stuff from Arrow for free, so his job is to sell this movie. No disrespect to Ken. That is his job, to sell you on this movie. And he's doing a fantastic fucking job at it. Really good job at it. Like, dude, props. Let's get into another YouTuber with, I think, I don't know if CHH has more subscribers. I don't want to get into that, but let's get into what he said.
I have no qualm saying that this is a perfect 10, and I'll tell you why it's a perfect 10. Number one, it was obviously this was done by Arrow themselves from the negative, and they got the director to approve it. But the second reason I say why it's a perfect 10, because this is so important to me. There's a lot of times on Blu-ray, not so much now with the boutique labels working with these movies, but there was a lot of times on Blu-ray where that shine takes away all the cinematic value of the movie to me. This looks like a perfected version of the Laserdisc.
Okay, so he goes on and talks about how it's a perfected version of the Laserdisc. I've never seen the Laserdisc. I can't comment on that. But I want to talk about how he really puts down the Blu-ray. Really puts it down.
And this is a perfect version of that old Laserdisc. It is so cinematic. That's the best word to describe this. So that is amazing. I love that about this release. And you'll never, ever need to get a new release of Demolition Man for this. Unless it comes with actual 3 seashells and a description.
Now, I will say, this is a definitive version of this movie. The sad part is, where I'm going with this, is Arrow is going to be put into question, not because of their transfer, not because of me, well, because of me, but because of how YouTubers are describing this movie in comparison to its predecessor.
Sensational. This is a perfect 10 transfer, in my opinion. And with Arrow, I never really do. There's just such a quality to what they do, so no surprise, right? It's like, well, of course this should be a perfect 10. There's no doubt in my mind that the Blu-ray version of this would obliterate the actual Warner Blu-ray that came out years and years and years ago. So
it would obliterate.
Here's the definition of obliterate: destroy utterly, wipe out.
Destroy utterly or wipe out. Okay. Choice of words. Choice of words. This would utterly destroy and wipe out this Blu-ray. Okay.
You cannot go wrong, even if you're a Blu-ray person, guys. Pick this up. Demolition Man, definitely one of the best releases this year, in my opinion.
Okay, that's Salesman. Okay. Let's see. And we're going to go to one more. I don't really know this YouTuber, but I saw his review, and it was kind of the same. A lot of this, you'll hear the same sentiment.
The grain definitely has been mitigated. It did not look as heavy as it looked in previous iterations. The Blu-ray that this had previously from Warner Brothers, that was, I think it came out in 2011. And now with that Dolby Vision HDR and that 4K resolution, everything just looks so much better now. Everything just jumps out at you. And yeah, that transfer was just outstanding. The other thing I was really impressed about with this is the black levels on this disc are also so much better than that previous Blu-ray. The opening scene, any kind of nighttime scene.
I'm pointing this out. I'm showing you this to point it out, just for you to see. I'm showing you what YouTubers are saying about how much better. The way they're describing it is this is God's gift to 2024. And as much as it's one of my favorite movies, the fact that I have to make a video about, I don't even know how to describe it. The fact that I have to make a video showing you that this is all just completely overdone. This whole, I'm pitching you this movie to sell you because I want you to watch my channel and I want Arrow to see this, and that's what it feels like to me. And with that being said, like, shut that off. Let's actually go to the side-by-sides and let's compare. Hey guys, video editing Brian here. So I just got flagged for this video. So I'm going to try to do the exact same thing, but with still images instead of video clips, because Warner Brothers just flagged the shit out of me. So let's try it this way. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is this Warner Brothers logo. The DVD and the Blu-ray have the same, but the DVD and the 4K are the same, but the Blu-ray has like the newer animation one. Okay, so here we are, opening shot, helicopter over the burning Los Angeles sign. And if you've seen my side-by-side, you know I'm going to pause and I'm going to kind of walk you through some of this. So that one YouTuber said the blacks were like insanely crushed and just like way more. They don't look that much crushed to me. I'm not saying it's bad. Like I said, this is not to bash the 4K. I think the 4K looks amazing, but I think the Blu-ray looks amazing too. I don't think there was anything wrong with this Blu-ray, which is my biggest problem with, the one thing here, I'll go back. I wanted to point this out. The one thing. So this guy was talking about how crushed the blacks were, how much more crushed the blacks were.
The black levels on this disc are also so much better than that previous Blu-ray.
But if you really look right here, the blacks are not crushed enough to where you can really see the how dark the superimposed fire shots were. Now this shot is basically kind of the same as the opening to Blade Runner, with that amazing shot. This is just kind of taken from that, but you can really see the outline, how dark this is compared to how much darker these are. Which I don't think is a problem. I think it's kind of cool seeing the original, it's like watching the original Star Wars and having like those effects. I don't think anything's wrong with it, but the blacks are so much more crushed, right? So you shouldn't see that. You don't see it in the Blu-ray at all. All right, this dope opening shot. I'm not going to show too much of this opening just because, or at least the helicopter scene right here, because it does get a little shaky cam. But let's just do these side by side. Now, I do have the DVD down. The DVD is obviously darker. I'm going to kind of show more of the 4K and Blu-rays for this, but these two look the exact same to me. There's nothing mind-blowing about these two. They just look the same to me. Like, even when I pause here, I don't really see that big of a, like, oh my god, I'm seeing this movie for the first time feel. They literally look the same. Honestly, I like, and I get stuff for this in the comments when I say, oh, you like the DVD more? No, the DVD is a fault of the compression in the format. So the DVD on this is going to look worse. By all means, it is going to look worse. But I think the skin tones just look better on the Blu-ray. I mean, on the DVD. And I'm going to show you that. Like, look, this is Sly's big opening, right? Which one is sharper to you? Now, hold on. Let's really look at this. honestly, which one to you has more detail? I'm gonna let y'all judge. I'm gonna give you my opinion. Now, I don't think this has any DNR to it because the 4K has a really good, like, healthy amount of grain to it. But I see more on the Blu-ray of Sly. Like, I see the details. I see the pores. I don't see that in the 4K with this. Now, I don't want to nitpick this, but because of YouTube and because of this Arrow praise of how well they did and how bad this is, you can make a review without bashing its predecessor. I don't know the channel's name, but this guy, I'll put his thing up here. He made a whole review. Perfect review. He unboxed it. He gave his opinion about the movie. He told you the specs. He didn't have to even bring this up to sell. I keep showing the back. To sell this Arrow release. But that's not the point. Let's continue. Now, part of this is this is HDR, so HDR will kind of like hold the highlights a little bit, which is fine. Every TV is different. Like, seriously, I watch this on my TV. It's going to look different than when I watch it on the TV in the bedroom. They're two different TVs. They're both LG, but they're two totally different models. All right, so let's go here. Look at this wide shot. I'm just going to pause and let you see. Let you be the judge. I think the whites are a little muted or what they should be. I mean, you can adjust that with your TV settings, obviously. I think the Blu-ray looks great. And it's not to put down this 4K. I think the 4K looks great too, but I really think this Blu-ray looks fantastic, you guys. And part of the time, they look the exact same. I think it's a highlight thing that the Dolby Vision does. And like I said, all our TVs are different. All our players are different. So you may see something a little different than me. Wesley Snipes. This is honestly the best, like, Joker Batman movie we never got. Like, if you really watch it from the perspective of Stallone as Batman and Wesley Snipes is the Joker, it's a great viewing experience. But let's go to this shot. Yeah, the Blu-ray is brighter. But I don't see anything that's like that. Like what was Ken saying? There was stuff in the background, like you couldn't see it. It was too dark. Like, this is night and day. This is what I'm seeing. The Blu-ray looks fantastic. Hold on, let's go back to this like close-up, especially the close-up. I'm somebody, I prefer my movies to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more saturated. So, yeah, the Blu-ray speaks to me a little bit more on this. But when you're watching a movie and you just kind of watch it, your eyes adjust to how it is. And you're not judging it from how I'm showing you right now. Because my first experience watching this was like, it looks normal. It just looks normal, which is okay. It's totally okay for it to just look normal. Like, look at this. Wesley Snipes is a very black man. And there are some scenes in this 4K where he just looks too dark. Especially outside. Now, this is you can argue this is a darkly lit scene. Like, Sly is right here. Sly is hidden back here. He's perfectly well lit. Maybe some might say this is a little too bright. You know? Yes, the orange. Now, anything with fire. We talk about this in every side-by-side. The fire in 4K, just that orange, oof. Which, yeah, this has that yellowish kind of thing where here it's like, yes, that looks orange. That looks gold. Now, as I said 100 times, I'm going to say it throughout the video. Your TV settings may be different. And that's okay. My point of this whole video is just to say this is not a subpar Blu-ray. Now, if you have the Blu-ray, do I think you should upgrade this? I'm going to get into that toward the end. But the answer is yes. But if you're fine with your Blu-ray, keep the Blu-ray. Let's see. Fire. I mean, here's the thing. As somebody who's shot fire multiple times for commercials, for my movie, for all kind of things, The Blu-ray is a lot more realistic of how fire looks on camera. All right, so let's get to this opening scene right here. I think this opening scene, or this opening title scene, like, looks really good on 4K. I really do. Like, the 4K shines. But I don't think anything's wrong with the Blu-ray. You still see everything. It's just a small color shift. Very small. And there are points of this where you're going to be like, oh, the 4K looks so much better than the Blu-ray. And then there are points where you're probably going to be like, oh, the Blu-ray looks so much better. Like, this shot looks amazing in 4K. Like, you can see all the grain right here. It's like, it's healthy grain. It's not overly done. You see everything. Like, this is a shining point of how great this 4K is. It really is. Like, let's frame by frame this. What is wrong with this? What's wrong with the Blu-ray? I don't see it, man. Even here. Like on the Blu-ray, I can see the different colors of the foliage right here. I see green, I see brown, I see different colors, where here on the 4K, it does have a very nice, luscious, everything just looks green and pretty, and I like that. And that, I think, is the color grade, because they did say that they did do a new color grade on this. So, yeah, that could just be a something they did later thing, too. I think the Blu-ray still looks really good, even like this scene. It goes from this like dark, like his skin tones are really good on the Blu-ray. I think he's really pale and blown out on the 4K, but it fits with the scene because it's supposed to be this ice. They're in a cryo chamber, so it's cold, and it's, you know, it's supposed to be like this cooler tone. I love this close-up. So let's frame by frame this. I think the Blu-ray looks a little sharper. They look the exact same to me. I'm sorry. They look the exact same to me. I love Sandra Bullock in this movie. Sandra Bullock. This is like right before Speed. So this is right before she went shh. Which I'm going to talk about her previous work, this and Speed. Because, yeah. What is so different from the 4K that is not on the Blu-ray? That is my only question. How, like, look at the skin. Like, I don't see anything wrong with this. I think this Blu-ray from, what year did this come out? 2011? Yeah, this 2011 transfer is really good. The background is clear. Like, look, there's nothing you can't read on here that you can't read on here. Like, I can't tell you what that says, but I can't tell you what it says on the 4K either. And that one guy was talking about the colors and the metals on their, you know, their thing.
Really stand out now. You can see little metallic items that are on their uniforms. The colors of their collars really jump out.
I don't see a difference. Even him in the background, I can tell everything. This 4K is great, and this Blu-ray, all this comparison is doing is highlighting how great this Blu-ray is in comparison. Now, do I think the 4K looks better? No. Do I think it looks the same? Yes. All right, let's move on. This is what I'm talking. Okay, so this is an outside day scene right here. Look how much darker. I cannot tell you right here that he has two different color eyes. I can kind of see it here. You can see it in other parts of the movie. I can still see every pore. I can see his mustache, his like freshly shaved. Like I can see all of this in here. What I can see more on the Blu-ray is his blue eye, where here it's a little harder to see. Now, clearly you can see the DVD has, I think, some of my favorite color, like the saturation. I really, really like the colors on the DVD. Like, I really do. Now, obviously now here, it's like, it's darker, it's compressed. But even looking at the DVD, so let's look at the DVD. And let's go back to things you could not see in the background that you can see now.
To watch a movie from like a totally different angle and perspective and be like, oh my, I never really noticed. I never noticed that it looked like that in the background before because I can never see the damn background before. Like this 4K just brings out everything.
There's really there's not that much of a difference other than the DVD is a much older version because you put it in, you watch it, it's compressed as shit. Dude, look how much his orange shirt pops in the DVD. It looks fun. It looks fun. Okay, so I'm keeping the DVD here for a second. Oh, this is probably the most racist thing in the whole movie. It's really funny, but it's kind of like, damn. You kind of feel bad about laughing about it. I love this whole like museum thing because it's so full of color. I think they both look great. Oh, I love this scene. I love the lighting on this scene. But can you really sit here and tell me that, oh, this is like 100 times better? Sometimes, and this is okay. It is okay for a 4K to be better by the smallest margin. It's okay for a 4K to be better by this much. I really don't believe in putting something down to build something up, especially something that already is an amazing transfer. I think this Blu-ray is an amazing transfer. And all this Arrow 4K did was remind me how good the Blu-ray looked. Now the Blu-ray is like typical all Blu-rays, it's way cooler. You can see just the colors. You look at the roof, it's obviously way cooler. It amazes me how close together these are. Like really watching them side by side, it's like I don't really see a difference between them. Like I really don't. Oh, this is okay, so let's go to the Taco Bell scene. So the only thing I really feel that they kind of dropped the ball with, which I think is kind of funny, because they promoted on the back. They put they put domestic quotes Taco Bell and international quotes Pizza Hut versions. But on the menu, they just put US version and international. I think it would have been cool to put Taco Bell and Pizza Hut to really see. But let's see those side by side. Both of these are 4Ks. This is just to show the difference between the Taco Bell and Pizza Hut. You see? That's it. That is literally it. Now, there is some dubbing over, but that's really it. And they still kept the food the same, too, which is funny. It's still little tacos. The food's the exact same. The only thing different is a few lines of dialogue, which they dubbed in post, and this Taco Bell sign and Pizza Hut sign outside. That's the only difference between them. So there's a scene when they have sex. They're about to have sex, and they it's these quick flashes, and they show like a body double naked, which is not Sandra Bullock. It's not, because they don't show her face. It's just like here, and obviously a different pair of tits than what she has. But what's funny is she did a movie, I think the year before, or something. It was right before this. Maybe it was the same year as this, actually, called Fire on the Amazon, or Amazon Fire, something like that. And she has a awful movie. Awful movie. But she has a sex scene in it. And it is like a dirty, freaky, like, I don't know if I should be watching this kind of sex scene. Like positions you've never seen in like a Hollywood movie. So let's look at this scene. It gets darker, right? I mean, clearly the 4K is a little brighter, because the Dolby Vision is adjusting for your Dolby Vision TV and everything. But let's go to this last scene real fast, when they're underground.
Any kind of nighttime scene or dark interior scene, especially the scenes where they go into the sewers, they look so much better now.
If this was like a real dramatic difference, this red on this car should pop like I've never seen it before. But it looks the same. It all looks the same. Dennis Leary looks the same. I think they look good. I think both look really good. Honestly, I think if you Pepsi challenge, you wouldn't be able to tell which one. I bet if I didn't tell you, you would still be like, oh. In fact, that's what I should have done. I should have just not labeled it and be like, can you guess? I mean, you probably could have. Watching this, honestly, it really made me question, what are we doing on YouTube, you guys? What are we doing? Are we just selling products for companies? Are we legitimately having film discussions? Which is what I want this to be. I don't want this to be ooh, you called out this person and blah, blah, blah. I don't want that to be this way. But I think having a discussion needs to go two ways sometimes. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool if we all agree on stuff. But every YouTube video you watch on this, they're all going to say the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with all having the same opinion. What I think is wrong is making other people feel bad for owning a subpar quality disc like the Blu-ray from 2011, which is really not subpar. It's amazing. It's really good. I don't know. I think we need to have more film discussions instead of film sell. No. What do you guys think?